So the question is, why do we even bother considering culture? We consider culture because of how it actually shapes a particular person's experience of violence, whatever that is, whether that is domestic violence, sexual violence, and or stalking. It actually also shapes how a specific perpetrator is going to accept responsibility for that action. If you don't know where that person is coming from, you can do whatever you want. Yeah, it's not going to work. It shapes access to services, it shapes access in terms of how you are going to develop your prevention materials, whether that's actually going to appeal to a particular segment of the student population or not. You have to really give some thought to this. It actually makes your life a lot more complicated, but then life is complicated. We try to simplify it, that doesn't work. So, and also, it's important to recognize that each and every one of us in this room, whether you deny having it or not, we all have a culture. Your specific institutions have cultures that either allow you to do certain things or not certain things. And then you're talking about the people you're working with. It's really how you understand those three things that shape any outcome that you're trying to fathom and do anything about. So then the question is, what is culture? Shared beliefs? Okay? Values?
Yes.
Beg your pardon?
Yes.
Traditions?
All those.
Okay, all those things. Okay, so it's all of those things that kind of make up this thing. Look, people have always historically been curious as to why do people do what they do. Why do some people raise their kids a certain way? Why do some people treat their dead a certain way? Why do men behave in certain ways in specific communities? Why do some communities have all of these practices that you can't make head or tail of as compared to yours? So the curiosity of that has always been, have driven people to understand what it is. But the very systematic study of different groups of people were actually conducted first by the English, and Ireland was their first target. Subsequently, you have the oceans opening up and sea voyages that allow lots of people to go and study people. So what you haven't known is, I have been here from about 1 o'clock, and I have actually sat at the back and observed you, and that particular table at the back that I was at, I have observed a lot of what you guys are about, and I can actually write a good solid 20-page paper based upon my observation. You will not be named individually, but you as a group will be talked about. So, because you observe, that's how you make sense of why is it that, you know, she not only has a computer up, but actually 2 seconds ago had her iPhone up too. Right? So I'm like, why does she need this many pieces of technology? Like, what exactly is she doing? I'm curious, right? So I'm kind of standing right here to see what she's up to. And so we do a lot because I'm trying to understand her behavior, right? But I've also seen a bunch of you have your laptops open. So I'm going to come to specific conclusions about all of you who have various tech stuff open, right? But that's done by observing, by asking questions, and we categorize behaviors. This is what you see if you open anything and do www.korea.gov. You will get everything that supposedly helps you understand people. You can't understand because what we see depends upon who you are. We see things as we are, not as they are necessarily. Because all of the studies of culture that was done by the English was basically based upon their judgment. Because when you observe, you already judge, because I showed you how I judged her already. I have a particular view of her in particular, right, and other people. So it comes from not being tech savvy, like wondering why you need so many pieces of equipment when you can just handwrite. So that, you know, you can tell my age from that particular, and that's the driving that. So anytime you observe, you judge. Also, what you observe is fixed in time and place. So culture is not this at all. This suggests that cultures are stable over a very, very long period of time, and they are not. They are shared experiences but they are flexible, they change because the social, economic, political context change.